And what's up, everyone? How are you guys and gals doing? I promised that I would give the other side of a story when it came down to it, if I got information that I needed to get out there for somebody because they couldn't come on the show or had other things to do as far as professional type of stuff. So here we go. I did an interview a couple weeks ago, and I do apologize for not getting this out sooner. Been making a different YouTube channel for just motorcycle news, manufacturer news, motorcycle lifestyle news over on YouTube. A lot of stuff going on, so I didn't get to go to this thing. I covered it a little bit a couple days after it on the radio show, but I have to make sure it gets out on Insane Throttle. That has to do with the interview that was given by Outlaw Feminists, where Black Dragon was on with me. We were talking about trafficking, all that kind of stuff, and her cause and how she was trying to fight it. Well, it turned out that it was a little weird. And there was accusations that were made against Steven Stubbs, the Mongols' attorney in the Patch case, one of the co-counsels. And I believe the appeal. Now, we did do an interview with him, but I put that one in private, if you will, because there was some concerns about what was being said could be negative on the club. But anyway, after that video, I had the interview with Outlaw Feminists. And if you remember, if you got to see it before I privated it, Little Dave called in, calling him all kinds of liars on his texting and all that kind of stuff. This is actually, and it's going to be very interesting, because this was the guy that was brought on to American Cholo to try to defend him when this all first came out. Now, I know he did an interview, and damn to the interviewer, you don't have to let him grease you so much. Got to teach you how to interview somebody. I really do. Anyway. What happened was Steven was accused of misconduct. He was accused of a lot of egregious things that came out of left field that had to do with a party that happened that he was attending. And there was dancers, and they were providing the entertainment, and then accusations were made against him that he was acting not in good faith, if you know what I mean. Not in good faith. The accusations were pretty bad. The problem turned in the interview, I believe, with, me and Black Dragon shaking our heads. I guess there was a confession confession allegations, all that type of stuff, of illicit activities on her part and some on others' parts that were sent to the FBI, DEA, ATF. Admitted it. It was in writing as well that this was turned over to. And then come to find out, this person, because I got a comment and all that stuff off the record. I'm not going to tell you from who, but she hasn't been seen around this club for years. And there was a reason for that, but that, that's on them to tell, not me. Because when I do something off the record, I do it off the record. Anyway, very interesting stuff, and I was able to get a response and Steven's side of the story. If you don't know who Steve Stubbs is, Bowtie, he does a lot of work for NCOM. He does a lot of work as far as biker rights are concerned. And him having to face something like this without getting his side of the story out is pretty hard. Anyway, I'm going to do that right now. His first thing was, and he put, I just watched the interview and I thought I would point out a few things. She said some things, new details that I never knew before, that got him thinking. Now, first, he's glad that Blue and him agree that she never provided me any entertainment. That's settled. Now, what that means is it was alleged that he was trying to pay for certain sexual favors, if you will. Well, it didn't happen according to her and according to him. Never happens. Very important thing right there. His second point was Blue and I also agree that the first thing I did when she sent me the extortion email, she actually sent him an email, which we went over, was to go straight to the club. Let me ask you if I was, and everybody can answer this question, what they think in the comment section. If I was checked, like she claims, why would I go to the club? Wouldn't that already have been taken care of if that happened? That makes no sense at all. I was never checked by anyone. The first time I understood that there was ever an issue is when he got that letter. Now, the letter was to him by Blue and another lady that wanted payment because he acted inappropriate to them. Now, I can't tell you what's what. All I can tell you is I'm giving both sides of the story here. But one thing I do know, you're in the public eye, a lot of people want to try to blackmail you in this stuff. It happens all the time. And he has a family. So, of course, this would get into him, which is a sad state of affairs, if you ask me, blackmailing somebody like that. Third, here it is. I'm fascinated by the allegation of the $200 solicitation. First time I remember hearing that dollar amount. This is interesting because I was there with exactly $200 that little Dave gave him. As I thank you for the patch trial work, Dave gave me $200 all in 20s to have fun with the girls because it was given with a specific purpose. I didn't feel right putting it in my pocket, and I took it back and told Blue that I had it. She then tried to hug me, and I refused her hug, giving her the excuse that I didn't want stripper dust on me, glitter, because you know how they got all that glitter on them, and didn't want to come back to the hotel with glitter on them. She then insisted on a photo, the one where I'm holding a strawberry milkshake. Here's the thing. Blue and the other girl offered me dances. I turned them down. This was after I told them that I had brought $200. I then paid 10 different people to have a dance with $200 Dave gave me. They made $200 pretty quick because the dances were free from the $200 that little Dave gave them. And it goes on and on and on. On and on and on. Again, this is the attorney, if you go watch American Cholo, that first came to his defense. But when it was later found out what he was doing, and Stephen Stubbs testified at the Mongols' motion for retrial, then he came on, and in that interview, he called them straight up an informant. He talked about how they were threatened because one of the biggest pieces that's going around is, well, you could have called him, he was on the witness list. Well, you're not calling Sassone after your attorneys are threatened. Everybody knows that game. Then he got upset when Bowtie said, well, this guy was meeting with him every damn morning. He told me so. So, you know what? Here's the problem with this whole thing. You have one guy who thinks he was vindicated when the judge actually said that there wasn't enough evidence to overturn the conviction because he didn't believe that there would be a different outcome if a trial was held again. People on the internet are dumb, real dumb, because they don't know how things work during a court case. So they take it and run and all that stuff. And oh boy, am I going to be showing some other stuff. Because you know what? I was thinking about it. I was really thinking about it. I have all this stuff that I haven't brought to the forefront because, quite frankly, you get sick of giving somebody attention when they're a narcissist. Come on, this is the guy who went around and said, my throne, they took my throne. Last time I checked in a motorcycle club, especially this one, the throne would belong to Genghis Khan. Why? Because it's the club. It is the club that makes everything, not one guy. So you can already see where he's thinking, oh, my throne. Come on, really? Anyway. So what happened here was that interview was after I did Stubbs. That we had this, where all the allegations came to the forefront and stuff like that. Now, let's see here. Another thing was because she claimed he didn't know about her past sex work. And she had admitted that she was a lady of the night, if you will. I 100% knew about her past sex work. Everybody did. I heard it multiple times from my clients. It wasn't a secret. I've been the club attorney since 2010. But Blue specifically says that I put myself in the situations dealing with the media. There you go. There is the big one here. Because before she came on, again, he did an interview with us where he called this dude out and talked about all kinds of improprieties in his testimony, who he dealt with, all that type of stuff. She did mention that. And I'm sorry to say, what the hell here? See, I interviewed her because I really believed in her cause. I really did. But then when the admission of the FBI, DEA, ATF, and then this right here, when she mentioned he put himself in them situations dealing with the media. She was put up to it. That's what happened. She was put up to it. Anybody can see that a mile away to take his reputation out. It's no secret that they claim him as his attorney. I'm an attorney of record in the Patch case, and I also filed the Ninth Circuit appeal. I have never put myself into any media situation. I have only spoken to the media at request of my clients. I don't know where she got that. Well, it was a jab at you. That's what it was. It was a jab at you because you came on this show and you let loose about the situation that was going on. That's what I wanted to do here, was get some of his words out. Do I believe it was a setup? Yeah, I believe it was a setup. You just see this thing a mile away with him. He was set up because he was making statements. The first thing you got to do is discredit everybody around you that might be a threat. That's what you got to do. You got to get the attention on somebody else so the attention ain't on you. That's how this whole ball game works. And they had to try to discredit freaking Stubbs with this. Even though those of us that had partied at all know, yeah, when you get strippers around, everybody gets stupid. But at the same time, you don't come and try to throw garbage on them at somebody else's behest. You just don't do that. That's what I have for Steve. I'm sorry I didn't get, this up quick enough. Like I said, I've been busy as hell right here. Busy as hell. And there's a lot more stuff that I didn't cover, but, we're on a time crunch here for the first segment. Anyway, don't forget, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time over on Motorcycle Lifestyle News on YouTube. We have all kinds of news that comes out not dealing with clubs. We'll be right back after this music break.
Got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter.